I'm here with Sabrina Davis of Social Security Works. Sabrina, hello. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me here, Jocelyn. I'm super excited.
I am so honored to be talking to you at Netroots. So for those listening at home, Sabrina is simply one of the best people ever. What would you like to present people who are not at Netroots with how we can make America more progressive and better?
We can make America more progressive and better by expanding our Social Security program and being sure that those with high incomes also pay their fair share, so that way Americans as a whole can secure retirement security for themselves.
Yeah, and it's funny. Social Security is fascinating to me because we talk about it as if it's an entitlement or handout. It's not. We paid that money. Like, do you think people get that?
So let's be 100% clear here. Social Security has never missed a payment in its 87 years of its conception, whether that be through war, recession, pandemic. Those checks get mailed every month like clockwork. So this misconception that it's going bankrupt is simply a lie and not true. And it's just a scheme for the far right to be sure that Americans don't get benefits from a system they paid into.
And, we get ripped off so much. Do you think that, what could people watching at home do to keep that from happening, especially with a program as popular and reliable as this one?
With a program such as this that's so reliable, you really need to get in contact with your representative and make sure that the information you have on Social Security is up to date and true, in an age of misinformation especially.
There is a lot of lies happening. Okay, so, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you're the policy expert. Like, my understanding is there are all these right-wing jackals that are trying to privatize, which is just another way of saying, take those payments that people have earned and paid into and just give it to Wall Street. Am I wrong about that?
I think you're 100% right about that. And again, let's be clear. Privatizing the program is not the way that we achieve solvency. We achieve solvency through updating the legislation on the program.
So what would that look like?
That would look like making sure that constituents who make over $147,000 per year pay into the system at the same rate that we all do.
And so, so I didn't know that. So they pay lower rates?
They pay the same rate as us, but they stop paying their income after $147,000.
Yeah, that's super not fair.
No, not at all. Especially when you have someone like Jeff Bezos, who technically makes only like $80,000 on books, but we got to tax those capital gains and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, and especially, I think, I love the work you all do because I don't think people really understand how impoverished elderly Americans really are and how tragic it is. Something like 70% of middle-class women retire in poverty, which is terrifying. Those numbers are from 2018, but I'm sure it's, if anything, worse now.
So when Social Security was founded, it was just common for seniors to retire into poverty. There's no need for that, especially if someone works hard their entire life and they're not completely in control of all their economic circumstances around them. So again, this is something that we pay into because we work very hard and we deserve to this is a program that we pay into and we're not necessarily entitled to it, but we earn it. And it's not fair that the average American is responsible for conceiving their entire financial future from the age they started working and completely perfectly plan for their own retirement in that way.
Especially because cost of living is just shooting through the roof. Everybody's talking about inflation now, but healthcare, housing, education, the cost of just existing in America is egregious, and people are all supposed to put aside like 30 years. That's just not even rational. The numbers aren't there.
In addition to that, I'd say that your expenses changes as you grow older, and Americans pay the most for prescription drugs. So we're tasking our seniors with calculating inflation, the market for insurance, and thank goodness we have Medicare negotiation now, but that's only a first step. We need to go further, and we need to adjust our consumer price index to accommodate the cost of seniors.
Yeah, it's inhumane and horrible, which is why I'm so glad that you do the work you do. And it's awesome. So thank you for educating us. Is there anything you want to add before it looks like people are headed to the keynote?
I am super excited again to be working with Social Security Works, and I'm looking forward to the great work we'll be doing, and I look forward to the updates I can give you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sabrina. We'll talk to you more soon.
Thank you for having me, Jocelyn.